What's going on, Show Nation? It's Movie with Movie Gaming TV. My bad on this taking a little bit to get out. This is actually the third time I'm recording this video. The first time the audio wasn't recording. The second time it was only recording to, it did that thing where it's only recording to like one speaker if you're a headphone user. So this is my third time recording this video, so drop a thumbs up on this. I really appreciate that. So I'm going to go over the new ranked seasons rewards. I'm going to talk a little bit about them. I'm going to give you my opinion. I'm going to give you kind of like an updated updated thing on like how you should have your roster constructed, at least how I'm having my roster constructed. So if you want to copy my roster, by all means go ahead, and just kind of how these new rewards will affect your roster. So if we take a look at the ranked seasons, the game has been lagging a little bit. There we go. Pennant race, we got Ron Guidry, Hanley Ramirez. Now Ron Guidry, slider 4-seam, 2-seam curveball. He does have the sinker baller quirk on that 2-seamer. Personally, I'm not too high on this card. The slider, the 4-seam, and then the curveball instead of the changeup. Maybe if you had a changeup instead of the curveball, I'd be more apt to use this card. But personally, it's not one for me. Now, no one in the world is going to be in this situation, but I used to have to use a Ron Guidry card to get a ton of innings back in MLB The Show 17. So I'm completely burnt out on using this card. But overall, like, he would not make my top 5. I don't even think he's that great for like a budget top 5, to be honest with you. I know you see that 99 just shining up in the left corner, but I just don't think he's that great of a card. This is more a card that you would want to use for the awards program. He's going down in price, but if you just like have made above the pennant race right now, you can go in, get your pack, sell this card for a decent amount. Also, I mean, $2,999. I mean, that's probably more than a fair price. Like, just to me personally, I'm not very high on this card. He's got 99 break probably on that slider. It's just not a card that would make my top 5, my top 10, anything like that. Again, I know the 99 looks really good, but Mike Scott is also a 99, and Mike Scott is not good in this game whatsoever. So that's just kind of how I feel about the Ron Guidry. I'm not too. When you compare these two cards, this hand ram is way, way better. This Forrest Whitley would be way, way better to have than the Ron Guidry, and he's only a 97. But you can't always look at the overall. The overall is not as important. The grand total of everything together is not always important. They're not gonna like play better because they have a higher overall. It becomes down to like what pitches do they have, what are their other stuff that they have. This Hanley Ramirez, 108, 112, 93, 94, 92. 72 fielding, 79 arm. Not what you're looking for at the shortstop position arm-wise. 91 speed is a beautiful thing. The hitting is a beautiful thing. He's got a good swing. Honestly, you're probably looking to play this card at first, third, or left. Any of those 3 spots would be better than probably the shortstop, just because he's not that good defensively at shortstop. You could get away with playing him at shortstop, especially on like a budget team, but I'd be careful because that's not very good defense, and it's kind of a premium defensive position. I do love the 108, the 112, the 93, 94. That's going to get it done at the plate. Enough pop, enough contact, good vision to open up his timing window, and 91 speed. That's pretty solid all the way around. But I want to talk about first base in particular and kind of go off on a tangent about that, because we do have Albert Pujols as the 99 overall reward. So I want to talk a little bit about like who is the best first baseman. I still think it's Babe Ruth at 125, 120. 121, 112, 75 fielding. He plays way above that 75 fielding. It goes down to a 71 when you put him at first base, but I feel like he plays so much better at first base, defensively than you might think. He has 60 speed, which isn't that bad either. So let's keep this in mind. 125, 120 versus righties. He still goes 121, 112 versus lefties, but that 125, 120 is what we're really looking at, because what we do is we platoon him with Frank Thomas at 125, 125. So our first baseman, we have a righty, and we just leave in Babe Ruth. He's got 125, 120. He's got a great swing. He's got good defense. He's got pretty good speed. You can get him absolutely for free by going through those moments. And then you have Babe Thomas. He could be called Babe Thomas. Frank Thomas, 125, 125. Just absolutely solid versus lefties. If they go back to a righty later in the game, he's still got 109, 104. Got him up to prestige level. It's still going to be beast. I don't even really think it's necessary to prestige him. I think he's still solid at 109, 104. He plays above his defense. The prestige would be better because you would get above 50 speed. You would get to LeBron's defense. But I think that's just like the solid move to go with both of them right there. You want to utilize your bench. Like, you don't want to. There's too many games you might go through in ranked seasons where you're not utilizing your bench, and you really should utilize your bench because you can take advantage. Like, you know, if they got a lefty pitcher and your whole team is getting stacked with right-handed pitchers through prestige or through platoons, like, that is definitely the way to go. That's definitely like a really solid way to go. Utilize your bench. You might need like you might need 2-3 pinch hitters, but you got like 2 spots where you can really platoon someone. Like, I could really play this George Springer versus lefties with Ty Cobb if I wanted to, and have a 103, 124, or even like, you know, Gary Sheffield or something like that with 109, 124, and just really, you know, let's say they got a lefty. Now we got Thomas in there. We got Gary Sheffield in there. You know, Mantle, Trout, Tatis. They don't really need platoons necessarily. Maybe if we had that Mike Piazza too, like, we could use him in a platoon with that 125. He can kind of play versus either. But you get the drift of what I'm saying. Like, you want to use about 2 players off your bench just in platoon that can actually, if they go back the other way, they'll still be okay. And you know, you can get away with having 3 players to pinch hit later in the game for your pitcher. So it's definitely, like, it's completely worth it to me to platoon Babe Ruth and Frank Thomas. And now I say that because I'm looking at let's go to player programs. I'm looking at the Lou Gehrig Extreme program. And when I look at all these cards, I honestly think the best one out of all 3 of them would be Pearson, because you're going to get like the outlier fastball. You're going to get good per 9s. You're going to get the slider, the curveball, and the changeup. I wish he had more stamina, like 115 stamina or something like that. Because if you get them all the way up to prestige, and these cards are actually difficult to prestige. The Yelich, the Pearson, and the Gehrig, they take a lot of playing to get them to prestige. Like, the tiers are not as simple as they were on some of the other cards. I think this is the best one. And when we take a look at the first baseman for Gehrig, like, I get it. You know, 125, 119, 112, 106, 117. It's not bad. He's a lot better. I think he's better versus lefties possibly than Babe Ruth is. But, you know, he's still got 125, 112. He's got a lot of pop. 117 vision. You get him for free. 74 fielding. A little bit higher fielding. A little bit higher speed. But I just don't. I'd rather have the 125, 120 and then the 125, 125. The 125, 120 from Ruth. The 125, 125 from Frank. I just think that's better. I think what's really worth it when you go through this is you get the 5 packs, the Ducks pack, the 20 packs, the Beach Ball pack, the 5 packs, the Ducks pack, and the Beach Ball pack. That's why I really think it's worth it. And then you get the Pearson. I don't think if I even had the Gehrig, I would necessarily play him. And I don't think I would play this Christian Yelich. I think Yelich is solid. You know, he's 110, 117, 108, 102. You know, again, it's going to take a long time to prestige this card. Would have over, he'd have gold fielding, and then he would have the speed that you are looking for. And he's got like a little bit more. He's definitely got more power versus left than Larry Walker. But I still think that Larry Walker is better than this card. I just do. He's got better defense. They got about the same speed. He's got a good swing. Yelich has a great swing too. Do not get me wrong on that. But I just, I just think that the Walker is better. And I'm not even starting the Walker. So Yelich, great card. Definitely go through this if you can get it done, because there's huge rewards that you can get. But I think Pearson is the gem out of these. I think Pearson would be the one that I would like the most. I could actually replace somebody on my team that would make like a significant difference possibly. And then also, the Beach Ball, the Ducks, and like all these other packs would be worth it to go through that. But the reason I really wanted to break down first base is because we do have Albert Pujols now in the game. Give this a second to load. All right, that actually loaded pretty quickly. That's good. All right, so we got the new Albert Pujols. 111, 118, 112, 118, 108, 85, 70 arm, 56. So against that Frank and Babe Ruth platoon, he's going to have 85 fielding. He's got better fielding than either of them. The 111, 118, 112, 118, it's kind of like a balanced version of both of them together if they were one player. Where I really think this card has value is I think he has value at third base because he goes 111, 118, 112, 118, and he still will have gold fielding over at third base. I'm not too concerned about his arm strength at third base. There's not a lot of relay throws that he's going to have. There's not a lot of times when people are going to be bunting down the first base or the third base line where he's going to have to come in and charge it and make the play at first base. There's not a lot of that that's going to really going to affect him. I feel like a lot of people like bunt to where like the second baseman is and almost bunt to the first base side to get base hits. If they're going to bunt, you're not even going to, I don't even see a lot of bunting personally. It's more like who can hit a lot of home runs that ship it. So he will be, this Pujols card would be good for that, but I would play him probably at third base. And now I want to talk a little bit about how I have my lineup set up. So what I would probably do if I got the Pujols, this is how I have my lineup set up. It's got a ton of speed and a ton of power across the board. So I actually play the Tatis at third. I think he's got a lot of value playing at third. He's got 119, 125, which is monstrous. He's got 90, 111. I don't even have him prestiged yet, but he has 90 fielding. So that drops down to a gold fielding, but I think his gold fielding at third base is going to be just fine. Like, he's already had some really good reactions over there. He's like a shortstop playing at third. He's got the 95 arm. All of that could go up too. I could get the fielding even higher. I could get the arm even higher. I could get the reaction even higher. The 84 speed, so he's really, really fast at third base. It just offers me a lot. And allows me to keep my cap at shortstop, which you can't see his stats right there. But he's got like 111 power versus left with the anomaly bat. He's got 108 or 111 power versus right with the anomaly bat. He's got 108 power versus left with the anomaly bat. He's got 84 speed. I could put on another set of cleats and get him to 85 speed, but I usually use the Gehrig cleats. Like one notch of speed isn't that much of a difference. He has diamond fielding there, so I like using him there. And then I got Cobb out in the outfield, 125 on both sides, 90 power, still has a good pop on both sides, 114 vision, 99 speed. So this outfield is so fast, it's covering everything. So you're gonna have to really hit it over the wall to get a hit. You're really gonna have to put it in a gap to get a hit. I mean, it's just they're gonna cover everything. 99 speed, 95 speed, and 93 speed. They're covering everything. He doesn't have that great of an arm, but I'm not really too concerned about that. To be honest with you either. I mean, if they have a situation where there's a runner on third base, they hit it to Ty Cobb and they tag up and score, so be it. I'm not too worried about that. I'd rather be out there trying to catch the ball and still have like one. I really like having high contact in this game and having a huge PCI. Like the 125-90 is just as good to me as if it was 90 or 125. I would still probably take 90, 125 over that, but I do like to have cards that have over 100 contact, and having 125 contact is just insane. Like, I'm gonna put the PCI on the ball with that. So I that's what I personally like. You might be different, but that's what I personally like. Like the 125, 125, 103, 110 from Hornsby is insane. Like, this card just absolutely rips the ball for me. I know. And then 125, 120 from Babe, the same kind of deal. 125, 125. Like, that's what I'm really looking for. I like the Biggio because he's got a lot of contact. Can really hit the ball well for me, still at catcher. But what I would probably do is, I can move the Pujols into third base on this team. I move the cap to catcher position, and then I move Tatis back over to shortstop. So this would be Pujols over here. That's probably how I would upgrade my team with that. So I'd probably, if I got the Pujols, I might do that because it just puts in another power bat and it puts in another high power, high contact bat for Biggio, and it moves Biggio pretty much off the team pretty much, and it puts my cap here. Or I could even, at this point, I could take the cap and I could move him either to the rotation, even though I think I might use Pearson, or I might use that new the new Adam Wainwright in the spot for Maddox. And I also would like to get the new Wade Davis in the spot for Trevor Hoffman. But I can move my cap either here or here in the pitching rotation as well, because there's some great catchers in the game now too. I mean, I feel like the caps, you can get the custom swing or switch hitting. My balance cap is going to have pretty much over 100 contact, over 100 power, and I think he has like 96 power versus left. And they always kind of play above their stats anyways, but there are some good catches in the game now. There's Mike Piazza, which you can still get from the World Series reward as well if you make it. 113, 125, 105, 125 is just solid hitting. I don't really care about his defense at catcher. Now, I'm not really worried about someone just running all over me. I'm not worried about that. I'm really worried about him hitting. I really should have that 125 on my bench also as well. And then, Pudge Rodriguez, 115, 112, 93, and 87 would have that high contact, that high power. Again, he's got great defense. No one's running on you that I would think with that kind of defense. He's got good speed for a catcher too, but he's more along the lines of like what my cap pretty much is anyways. So I think I'd probably just use the cap over Pudge, but you know, he's not bad. But I think like Piazza's got like the crazy hitting stats. Let me know if you're gonna go after this Albert Pujols. I know like there's a ton of Cardinals fans. Pujols is a really popular player. I could see people using him. I could see people also like, you know, sometimes it's just nice to put in a new card that's different because it's like you don't want to, you get tired of using it's not even that you get tired, it's nice to get some fresh blood, some new cards to use from time to time in the lineup as well. But that's kind of how I feel about all that. Make sure you drop a like, drop a thumbs up on this video if you want to keep seeing my videos like in your feeds and, you know, popping up and all that kind of stuff. Just drop a thumbs up. That's all you gotta do to keep that going for yourself. Subscribe if you're new. Support the CCL, please, as well. I know Serenity and Twin are streaming tonight. If you watch this video tonight, go get some free drops. Scuffy and Kuz are streaming tomorrow. Healy and I are streaming on Thursday. It's the CCL playoffs. I believe Yayo and Shelfie are streaming on Friday. Go offer some support for that. We're trying to build hype for that. I would really, really appreciate that if you went and did that. And you're going to get some good stuff. You're going to get some great drops as well. I mean, there's going to be big-time drops over there, so make sure you check that out if you haven't already. Support the CCL. We're in the playoffs. We're getting closer and closer to that series for $5,000. There's only 8 teams left, so we got pretty much this week of the playoffs. I believe next week of the playoffs. So go support the people in the CCL. Support the community. Be a part of the community. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Until then, peace out.